and welcome to Behind the Mic Radio. I am your host, Dawn Mack. So glad to be here with you. Typically, we're not here a lot on Saturday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern, but we are so excited to be bringing you our show today at this special time because we have a great guest. I'm so excited, and as many of you know, aside from Behind the Mic, I do Jam and Jukebox, which represents indie artists all around the world. I love indie artists. I love what they do. I love what they bring to the music industry, and our guest today is no exception, although she is quite a bit bigger in terms of notoriety and familiarity to many, many fans out there, as opposed to some of the artists that I've repped and featured here on our Jam and Jukebox show. She is amazing. She has over 80,000 Twitter followers. I mean, over 17,000 Facebook likes, and the list continues to grow. She's just launched a brand new single called Close to Where You Are. And the amazing thing about this is she is a mere 17 years old. She has a voice that is beyond her years, and I have no doubt that she is going to have an amazing career because she's already off to just a great start, and she is taking the music industry by storm. I would love to introduce to you now Miss Brooklyn Haley. Hello, Brooklyn.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I want to thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, it's our pleasure and our honor. I want to kind of get started by talking a little bit about your background because, my gosh, you are so immensely talented to be, 17 years old, and it is incredible what you've accomplished in such a short amount of time, and not only that, but where you're headed from here. I mean, that's just amazing. So talk a little bit about how you got started.
Well, I've been singing since I can remember, but I didn't really start taking it seriously to a point where I wanted to make it a career until I was about 13. I moved out here right before, maybe 2 weeks before I turned 14. So I've been out here since then. I moved out here with my grandparents. They were just getting ready to, downgrade houses. They had, like, a huge house, and it was just too much for the two of them. So they wanted to downgrade a house, but I really wanted to make this a career. So while they were in the process of moving, they were just like, well, why don't we just go give it a shot? We were supposed to only be out here for, 6 months, and it's been 3.5 years.
And the rest, they say, is history. I mean, it is, it's interesting because you grew up in Academy, Texas, and to move out to California, what was that like for you? Was that kind of a bit of a culture shock in a way?
It was very different. My town, Academy, has about 1,600 people, and then moving there to out here, big difference because it's a very small town. I mean, it's pretty much just land. Not really much to do, and out here it's so busy, but I really like the change. I like it more out here. I like the busyness.
Well, yeah, I mean, that gives new meaning to small town girl, huh? 1,600. I mean, that is pretty small, but yeah, I mean, in order to really pursue your music, once you became serious about it, I mean, California is the place to be, and obviously there are some credible people on your team that have great belief in your talent and in you as an artist because you've got an amazing management team, Paramore Management, and then you've had this vocal coach that has just kind of helped you along as well. I mean, things are really starting to happen, and doors are opening left and right for you. Talk a little bit about how that has happened.
Well, it's kind of been a weird process because not ever, really, when you move out here, you don't really know what to expect. Like my family, we just kind of thought, okay, we'll give it a shot and then move back. But we've learned it's like a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You have to, there are certain things you have to do. There's a lot of practice that goes into it. But to get into everything, really, my manager, it's going to sound weird. We met her online, and she helped with my MySpace and everything for a while, and then we met up, and she's been my manager for maybe 2.5 years. And so through her, we've met a lot of people, and it's just been incredible to go through that from starting. We moved out here not knowing what to do, not knowing how to get to the point to even do anything. And then now it's just I've got an amazing team behind me, and it's fantastic.
Well, and talk about incredible fortune and just, luck, because as big as California is, and, especially an aspiring artist like yourself moving out there and taking such a huge leap of faith, and then to just happen along and fall into the right people at the right time, when there are so many out there that I'm sure are not true to the industry, they're not true to representation of artists, and so for you to have that in place so soon after moving out there, I know has got to be not only an incredible blessing, but just a huge relief to know that you're working with some amazing people who are helping you get to where you want to be.
Definitely. I mean, there's you don't expect there to be so many people that, want this dream, but there's a lot of people that have different intentions for it, who just want it for just to be famous. It's not really what they want to do with their life. It's just for that. And also, what comes along with that is there's a lot of people out there that will take advantage of that. And it's just amazing that I've got a team that really is behind me, because it's very unfortunate, but there are a lot of people that have to go through there's a lot of snakes out there. They'll try to take advantage.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I definitely. But
that's true. I definitely think you described that beautifully, because that is so true. In this industry, there are a lot of sharks and snakes, as you say, and to just be in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, is and for you to be as young as you are. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who would take advantage of someone with your talent and your beauty, being so young, assuming that you would be impressionable. But huge kudos to your grandparents, huge kudos to your grandparents for also having a hand in everything and kind of helping to guide the process. I'm sure they've been heavily involved, and that has helped. Well, you've got a great management team in place, and since you've been out there, you've been doing some amazing things. I mean, you've been playing at some of the biggest places in Southern California. I mean, you've been all over the map out there, really. And some of the places you played have been like a Whisky, a Go-Go, the Nokia Theatre. Now, I mean, really, the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Vegas. And what was it like for you to be on that Nokia Theatre stage? I mean, because we all have heard of the Nokia Theatre. I mean, that's where American Idol finale has been held for years, many years. But just to be on that stage performing, what was that like for you?
It was really cool. It was one of the first major things I did. I opened up for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was invited to that by my vocal coach, actually. And it was just incredible, because I was like, wow, I've heard of this. This is really cool, because not many people, get to do that. So it was really just an honor,
Oh, yeah, and that's a dream come true. And, of course, you're 17, and I keep stressing that to the listeners, because when they hear your song at the end of the interview before we wrap, they will understand why I'm just so stoked about you as an artist, and and the fact that you're going to be the next big thing on the scene. Because to open for acts like Alyson Stoner and Earth, Wind, and Fire, I mean, I grew up on Earth, Wind, and Fire, which is kind of dating me in terms of my age, but Earth, Wind, and Fire, even to this day, still sells out arenas everywhere they play. And they've been around for decades. And, and then Gretchen, Bonaduce, I mean, you open for some incredible people. And for you to be aspiring and to be doing some of the things you're doing, that is really huge in terms of, a great step in your career. So, you have had some amazing things happen, and now you've got this wonderful new song out. And talk a little bit about how that song was born and kind of what the inspiration is behind it.
Well, the song, getting to do that is I was, trying to work with, different producers, because I'd worked with, the same ones over and over, so stuff started sounding the same, and you don't want that. You don't want your music to sound the same. You need to do something new. So I was moving out of that sort of kid-type music into starting to try to get up to the pop arena, as opposed to, the little kid stuff. And I wanted something different because most of the songs I did have were about, I love this boy. Yeah, that was pretty much the end of it. And so when we were writing the song, I went into the studio. I wanted something different, something people could relate to. So the song's about, having, because a lot of teenage girls go through this. It's having trouble in a relationship, but you love this person, you don't want to let them go, so you want to make things right. And so I just really wanted that concept for the song because, a lot of my friends were going through that at the time, and just it's a normal teenage girl thing. So I wanted something that people could listen to and relate to, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is very relatable, I think, not only for your generation, but also for many adults out there who, we've all been through love and loss and just having that, those feelings of wanting to hang on to someone. And it really rings true with a lot of people. So I definitely think you have evolved from, the teeny bopper kind of, music sound into a more adult contemporary pop sound, which I think is awesome, for your age and what you're striving towards.
Definitely. That's the type of music that I've just always wanted to do was, the pop that's out there, stuff like Rihanna, Katy Perry. So I'm glad that I'm finally, getting to do that because it's kind of hard because I'm at that, awkward age where it's I'm 17, so I'm not 18 yet, so I can't really do that pop music fully, and I can't do the kiddie music either because I'm not at that age either. So it's trying to find a balance, trying to get in between that so I can move up.
Yeah. Well, but the great thing is that you're only going to be 17 for a limited time, and then you'll evolve, and you'll be able to, really do some amazing things. When I think about, the Katy Perrys, and I think about, even Britney Spears when she started, 16 years old, and, and her career just exploded. And even to this day, it's hard to think of her being 30, 31 years old because when I think of Britney, even though, there's been highs and lows throughout her career, I still see her as that 16-year-old that, evolved on the scene and just became this major, mega superstar with her music and her sound.
It's weird to me because I grew up with her.
Yeah.
That was my idol. She was 17. I was 3? I don't know. But I was beyond obsessed with her. So it's weird to think of her how she is because it's you can't be that old. You're still a teenager.
She doesn't, and even with everything she's been through and what the press has put her through, she still looks great, and she doesn't even look her age. She looks younger. And that's always a plus when you're in the public eye anyway. But I just read the other day she's working on a brand new album. So now, speaking of that, you've been out in California for a little while now, and I'm sure you've already worked with plenty of amazing, immensely talented people. But who are some people that, if you had the opportunity, that you would just love to collaborate with?
Ooh, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people. This is my favorite question ever. I would really love to have a song with Rihanna. That's my idol. I would love to have a song with her. And other two people would be Drake because he's one of the people that I look up to a lot. And Nicki Minaj, that she'd be cool to have a song with because she's crazy. So it's awesome. She always has, her verses on songs are always the best part of the songs. Hands down, best part of the song.
Yeah, and she's so much fun. From what she wears to the kind of music she puts out there, it's always dope and it's hot and it's fresh. But, it's so classic Nicki Minaj. You just know it's her. And the thing about every single one of those artists that you named is that they all have a particular style. They have a particular sound of their music that is a true identifier. When you hear the first beats of a song by one of those artists, you immediately know who it is. And, and when you get to a point in your career when you can just go by a first name basis, and people know Rihanna is Rihanna, and and Drake is Drake, you've made it. I mean, you've really come far, and and just the fact that people identify. I mean, your music is so easily identifiable because you've created such a brand, not with just your music, but with your name and your style.
And that's what I want, is like them where like you could turn on a song, you hear their voice, and you're like, I know who that is. It's not just like you have to guess who the voice is. You just know like the style, the way that they, like the stuff they do with their voice, you know it's them, and that's what I really want.
Oh, yeah, and I think you're definitely on the right track. You've done some incredible things so far, and you're in the right place. I mean, California is where it's at when it comes to this sort of thing, and so there's no doubt that I think it's just a matter of time. I mean, but it's kind of like the whole Britney Spears thing. You're only 17, and, and when you're 30, we'll be looking back going, gosh, it seems like just yesterday she was 17 and breaking out onto the music scene, which is going to be great. I want to kind of back up for a little bit and talk to you a little bit about the No Bully tour that you were on with some of the Radio Disney and Nickelodeon stars a couple years back. And I know. I mean, we're almost into 2014, but I wanted to bring that up specifically because, it is such a prevalent thing in our nation today. I mean, it's rampant to our schools. A lot of kids are dealing with it. And when you were asked to be a part of that tour, I mean, what was that like for you? Had you yourself ever experienced bullying? And I ask that because so many kids who have, people that I've spoken with who've been on that tour, similar tours since, have had that experience themselves. So it's helped them become an advocate for it, and the tours have been a great platform, for kids everywhere to kind of, listen to. So talk about your experience and how you got involved with that.
When they asked me to do it, it was an automatic yes, because I had gone through bullying with school. Because of the town I was from, I was different from all the other kids. Everybody else was into like sports and, getting to have that normal college experience, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I want to do music. My thoughts were different from kids in my school. And I kind of see why now that I live out here, because now I've made friends who are like me. So that's kind of what I was missing. But I was, like, bullied a lot for being different. There was times I was shoved into lockers. I would go from having all these friends, and then I'd come back the next day, and I'd have no friends. And I would just remember every day before school, like, praying in the car that I got through the day peacefully and not, making somebody mad. I always had to, like, be careful what I said. It was a struggle because I had to be careful of what I said to make sure I didn't offend anybody in any way, because people get offended easily, apparently. And, yeah, it was not a great experience. So that's why I was a part of it, is because I wanted to, talk to kids, because I'd realized that through my friends that I had made on the tour, and I realized that, everybody does go through it, and I wanted to be able to, talk to kids my age or younger, that are going through what I went through at their age, and even kids that are older than me, because everybody goes through it. I wanted to let them know that things do change. It's not going to be like that forever, but just to keep your head high and don't listen to them, because a lot of the times it's jealous kids. And I couldn't agree with you more. I know I have to applaud, Radio Disney and Nickelodeon, and even other organizations out there who are putting up-and-coming indie artists on these tours to go and speak in schools and perform and just really help promote that whole platform against bullying, because I think it's making a difference in a huge way, because it's getting kids talking about it. It's teaching kids, hey, stand up against it. Don't be afraid to speak out. Talk to someone about the problem. Don't think you're alone. I mean, these are all things that kids feel when they're bullied. They feel like, I can't tell anyone. I'm going to get beat up, or I can't tell anyone because if I get someone in trouble, I'm going to be the victim of their retaliation. And so it's really providing a great means for people to talk about this on all levels, from children and adults alike. And awareness is so critical. So I'm glad that, I hate that you had the experience, but I'm so thankful that you were able to take
that, and when you were on tour, be able to share that with others, and hopefully it made a difference in the lives of many.
I hope so. That's what I really try to do.
Well, right now, you've got the new single, you're promoting that, and what else have you got going on that's going to be coming out, forthcoming for you? Are you going to be touring? Are you going to be releasing more music? What's coming down the pipe?
Well, there's a lot. Tonight, I'm actually going to be in the studio recording a new song, and it's fantastic. I love it so much. I think I actually like it more than this song, than Close to Where You Are. I think I like it more than that. It's just, I don't know, I get excited when I do a new song, and I'm like, this is my new favorite, and then I always have a new favorite. It's never one selective song. But I'm also going to be performing at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Vegas, I believe on the 20th, and people like Drake and Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus, people like them, they're performing. So that's crazy. I'm very excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Now, have you ever met, like, Drake or any of these folks, since you've been out in California and working your way up, or will this be the first time that you'll get to meet some of these guys?
I've met a few people, but I have not got to meet any of, like, my idols yet.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are performing, so I'm like, oh, my gosh, because it's just weird because, like, these are people that I really look up to, and then now to be performing on the same stage of them is just so surreal because it's like, wow.
Yeah, that is surreal because also, mind you, it's not every day someone like you who is aspiring to really take your career places gets to perform at the iHeart Radio Festival. I mean, that is incredibly huge. And, again, another, notch on your career belt, if you will, that is really going to propel you to incredible heights. I just have no doubt. And, wow, what a great thing. I mean, that is and when is that coming up, by the way?
I believe it's the 20th and 21st, and I think the 20th. It's a Friday and a Saturday night.
Okay, and that's in September? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will definitely be promoting that out to kind of let our audience know to kind of be sure and check it out because that is huge. And congratulations on being tapped to be a part of that.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm sure they get, thousands upon thousands of, people they look at to tap besides, the ones who are going to perform. But to have, great talent to choose from like yourself, that's got to be a very difficult task for the iHeart organizers to be able to do, and then to have you be a part of it, that is huge. I mean, I am just amazed. So I'm very excited for you. I know that it's going to be a great opportunity, and many, many doors are going to open. You never know. You may come away that evening, and you and Drake will be chatting about your collaboration moving forward. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh, my God. I can only dream about that.
Well, I've just kind of learned to accept that anything is possible out there on the L.A., California scene with the music artists because so many doors open, there's so many opportunities, and with you having the right people in your camp who are looking out for your best interest and really doing some amazing things to help you get to where you want to be, the sky's the limit, really. So there's nothing that you can't do. And just think about it. A few short years ago, you were merely dreaming about doing this. You had no idea that you'd be where you are now. So can you imagine where you'll be 5 years from now?
Ooh, that's exciting to think about.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Where would you like to see where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where would you like to be?
Definitely, I would love to, have a few albums out, and I'd love to be on tour and have, like, songs and, like, collaborations with my favorite artists, but I would definitely love to do a tour and sell out Staples Center and Madison Square Garden. That's definitely what I want.
And again, it's very possible. I think if you can dream it, you can be it. And I think if you have determination and will, anything's possible if you set your mind to it. And you definitely do have those. You have a great passion for music. I think it's possible. If you think about it, every single artist, Rihanna, Drake, Katy Perry, even Britney Spears at one time were sitting there in their bedroom writing lyrics, dreaming about being a star, dreaming about making music and making it their career, and look at them today. Every single person that we know of that's familiar to us in the music industry at one point started in the exact same place where you are. And so anything is possible. I really think you're going to have an amazing career. I believe it's just a matter of time before your name is going to be a household name right along with Rihanna and the rest of the folks that we already are familiar with. I have no doubt about that.
I hope so. That's what I dream about.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I cannot wait to tune into the iHeartRadio Festival and hear you performing. That is going to be amazing. And again, listeners, that is coming up on September 20th and 21st, so check it out. And Brooklyn, thank you so very much for being our special guest today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been such a blast speaking with you, and I'd love to have you back anytime, especially when the new single comes out. Please let us know, get it in our hands so that we can start promoting it for you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And take care, and we wish you all the best of much continued success.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye. We've been speaking with Brooklyn Haley, and I'm telling you, I'm going to play her latest single in just a moment, and when you hear her music, you're going to go, wow. She is so immensely talented, and and just to be in the place she's at, to be 17 years old, it's got to be quite a ride for her at this given time. And so now I want to bring her single to you, and it's world premiering on our show here tonight. It's been out for a couple weeks everywhere else, but it's the first time we are playing it on our platform, and so very excited to be sharing it with all of you. This is her latest. This is Close to Where You Are.
Without you, I'm barely breathing. Looking in your eyes, I saw paradise. It's what kept my heart beating. All we need is a second chance, a chance to make it right. Maybe we should
Brooklyn Haley and Close to Where You Are. That is her latest single. And if you want to follow her on Twitter, you can find her at Brooklyn Haley 15. And she is just so incredibly talented. And if you'll hang with me just a second, I'll give you her web address as well as I pull that up. And she also, you can find her on Facebook at the same, Brooklyn Haley 15. And you can also check out her website, brooklynhaley.com. And there you'll find all of her music. And, oh, my gosh, it is just chock full. It's a beautiful website. I love the look, the layout. And you will, too, I assure you. If you like that, go and buy it. Support her, and, these artists work very hard to put out what they do, and they need all the support they can get. So it's fans like you who make all the difference. And, again, we want to say a huge, huge thank you to Brooklyn Haley for being our special guest this evening, and thank you to all of you for joining us. If you're brand new to our program, welcome aboard, and we hope that you will be back again real soon. And let's see, we're going to be off the next couple of nights. However, coming up on Tuesday on Behind the Mic Radio, we have Miss Judy Evans from Days of Our Lives. She will be here at 8 p.m. Eastern. And so if you're a Days fan, you'll want to join in because we'll have her. We'll be taking fan calls and finding all about the latest storyline that Adrian is part of on Days. So we look forward to that. And, again, thanks so much to Brooklyn Haley for being our guest, and thank you for joining us today. And with that, I'm going to wrap, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Take care, all. Good night.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, the one listening to this. Go to Stitcher.com and download the free app. It's a free app that lets you listen to our show 24/7, 365, anytime you'd like. You don't ever have to miss another episode again. And you can listen to thousands more shows and stations just like ours. So go now. Download it to your mobile devices, your Androids, your iPhones, your iPads, whatever you got. It's Stitcher.com, and it's free. Thanks for listening to tonight's show. You can connect to Behind the Mic Radio on Twitter at BT Mic Radio and on Facebook at Behind the Mic Radio. Check out our website at BehindTheMicRadio.com. Also, follow us right here on Blog Talk Radio, where you can stay up to date on all upcoming shows. Every episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast and, as always, on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.